Yes, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman, Alfred.
I'm Batman.
I am Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Greetings and welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. Please visit our website, holybatcast.com, and you can find us all over social media as well, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast and you will find us. And if you're a fan of the show, would like to help support the show, you can do that on Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/holybatcast. So a quick little shout out to our latest patron, that is Mr. Sean Handra. So Sean, thanks, man. That's awesome. Welcome to the family. Love having you. And again, the biggest of thank yous to not only Sean, but all of our patrons. We know you don't have to do it, but we thank you for doing it nonetheless. So huge thank you. Again, that's patreon.com/holybatcast. We are also part of the Real Fans Podcast Network, so if you're interested in checking out some other shows, you can do that at rf4rm.com. As always, I'm your host, Andy DeGenova. Hi, and if you'd like to follow me when I'm not talking about Batman, you can do that on not on Facebook, we're on Twitter. I mean, I'm on Facebook too, but on Twitter and on Instagram, it's just my name, Andy DeGenova. Now, this episode, we're going to be catching up on the latest news around the DC Universe. We're going to review the next episode of the new Batman Adventures, also known as Season 4 of Batman the Animated Series, and we're going to, as always, answer your questions in the Wayne Manor mailbox. Joining me, my partner in crime, the Alfred to my Bruce Wayne, it's Jamie Drewley. Hey, Jamie.
Can we hurry this up? Starbucks closes in 15 minutes, and I've only had one PSL today.
I saw your tweet that they are back, and so good news, BatCast family. You guys are going to hear Jamie and I talking about Pumpkin for the next couple months, so strap in. It's time.
I don't know if you guys have heard this. I like Batman, and I like everything Pumpkin.
This is why we're friends.
As a matter of fact, some company caught my tweet about that, and they're like, "Did you know that your dog likes pumpkin spice too? You try these new treats at this link and get a free offer code." And I replied to them and said, "I don't have a dog, but given my pumpkin spice addiction, I could try them for myself."
You know, I would be somewhat tempted, which means that I have a sickness.
It's probably the truth, but it's a sickness I'm glad to have.
There are worse. Far worse vices.
There are worse addictions to have, yes.
Yes. Bring me the pumpkins. All the pumpkins. So yeah, now that you have told me that, I think tomorrow I will require a little field trip to enjoy one of my very own, first one of the season. Usually
make sure to put on your Uggs before you go.
Always.
Did you see what my wife sent me about that stuff by chance?
I did not.
She sent me a bunch of them, but there's only one that's truly hilarious. And it said, "I spilled some of my PSL on the ground, and now ants are all making brunch plans and doing yoga."
Yeah. That would be me, except I don't do yoga, but I do enjoy brunch now and then.
Just fantastic.
Yeah. So happy PSL season. I'm glad that you jumped right on that, and I look forward to doing it myself.
I'm on top of things.
It is time. Well, anyway, it is. We've been talking about lots of random things recently, and we have not caught up on the news. And being completely honest with you fine folks at home, when Jamie and I have writer's block of what to do on the show, this is our fallback. I was like, hey, let's catch up on the news. That's always good. So you're welcome, or we're sorry, or both, maybe.
Well, my excuse is going to be that I'd like to give things time enough to settle down to where I know what's actually news and what isn't.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be much help on that, because the news,
it's thin. It is. There's a lot of grasping out there, and some of it may lead to something, some of it may not. I mean, where there's smoke, there's sometimes fire, and sometimes just a lot of smoke. So
right. We'll see what happens. Well, the first piece of news I do want to address, because it's a few weeks old, it's not new, but we haven't really talked about it on the show, is that we have our Batwoman. So it was announced a few weeks ago, Ruby Rose, famous for Orange is the New Black, The Meg, and John Wick 2. She has been cast as Batwoman for the CW crossover, and then for the I guess, the pilot for the new show, and then I guess we'll see if it gets picked up from there. But she was cast. There was some unfortunate business afterwards with people being jerks. Imagine that on the internet, people just being jerks to someone for getting a great job, because why not? And that's a shame. But as far as the casting itself, Jamie, how you feeling on this?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I don't have a great deal of familiarity with her work. I mean, like the only things I've seen her in are John Wick 2 and The Meg. And I thought she was good in both of them. I don't know that I would consider her amazing or anything, but you know what, people? I didn't consider Gal Gadot amazing when I watched the Fast and the Furious movie she was in, the first one. Not the first Fast movie, but the first one she was in. So I was like, even when her casting was announced for Wonder Woman, I was like, well, they didn't let her talk very much in a Fast and Furious movie. That's not going to bode very well. And I think we can all pretty universally agree that turned out okay. So I think she's got the right look for the part. She seems to have the right persona, I guess, for lack of something better to call it. Like she carries herself like I imagine Kate Kane would. I think this is going to work great. She did an interview, I think it was with Jimmy Fallon, but like a 5-minute interview about it. And the minute I finished watching that, I was like, this is what I want for my Batwoman. This will work out just fine. I'm very pleased with this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her in the costume and seeing what we get turned out from it.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I knew you were super psyched about Batwoman. You're a relatively recent Batwoman super fan, so good to get your seal of approval. I'll tell you, I didn't watch Orange is the New Black. I never got around to John Wick 2, and I know apparently it's great, and my bad, I just haven't gotten around to it. So
it's not the universally popular opinion, but I actually like John Wick 2 better than John Wick 1.
Oh, all right. That's good to know. Yeah, I mean, even the people, though, who said the first one's better still like the second one. I didn't hear anyone who didn't like the second one. So
yeah, I didn't hear any real downcry from it. So yeah.
Yeah, I just need to get off my ass and watch it. So
and she's literally not speaking at all. I mean, she's a mute character, so she speaks through sign language in this. But I mean, posturing and facial expression, everything like that. From what I remember, I just saw it the one time when it first hit home video, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't know who this actress is, but she's got a pretty, I don't want to call it an exotic look, but almost like a unique, but not in a bad way look. So I was intrigued by her with that. So like I said, I think this is going to work great for this character.
I would call her striking.
Okay, that works.
Like, she has a look. She has a presence, and I find it striking. So I had never heard of her, but what's weird is leading up to the Meg, all of a sudden I just started seeing her face and her name pop up in media, like on TV and on Twitter and, and on geek movie sites. All of a sudden I just kept seeing the name Ruby Rose, and I kept seeing her photo, and I was like, okay, I have no idea who Ruby Rose is, but okay, all of a sudden her name was on everybody's lips, and I guess it was because of the Meg, but she seemed to be someone on the rise. And I went, okay, cool, she's going to be in the Meg. I look forward to seeing the Meg. And then before I even got to see the Meg, this announcement came out around Batwoman, and before anything happened, I went, oh, good for them. They got this really hot actress who is on everybody's lips, and they got her to do Batwoman for the CW. And I feel like she didn't have to do that because, again, she seems like she is very much heating up in the industry. So for me, I was just impressed that it seemed like a really good get for the character, and to get her now before she was too big for this. And so I was super impressed that they got her. I didn't know anything about her abilities, but I thought she looked amazing. And I think it's great that she's an LGBT actress. And I think that's awesome. So it seemed fitting as well, since Batwoman, of course, is a LGBT character. And so I was like, great. Like,
well,
good
apparently
for them.
Some people aren't buying the LGBT thing. And all I have to say to that is, people, get the hell off of Twitter and go outside and listen to birds sing and get some sunlight, because obviously sitting in front of a computer screen or a smartphone is rotting people's brains. What the hell is the matter with this society right now?
So I don't know the details. I just know that, yeah, there was some sort of there was a group of fans or certain fans who said, oh, she's not gay enough. And
I don't even know what the hell that means.
What does that even mean? I have no idea. But here's, if I can get on my soapbox for just a quick second.
Please do.
I don't care who you are. You don't get to tell someone else what their sexuality is. Full stop.
You can't see it, but I'm raising my beer glass to that right now. Because I'm drinking.
So shut your fucking mouths and let her live her life.
Hear, hear.
So I think it's great. I think the representation is great. I heard a little murmurs about like, oh, well, just because the character's LGBT doesn't mean the actor has to be. No, of course not. But guess what? In this case, it is, and good. That's great. Representation is important.
I don't even want to open this can of worms, but I don't remember anybody throwing this kind of shade at Amber Heard at all. Of course, she wasn't cast as a gay character, but anyway.
Well, no, I mean, and I've seen that like, oh, just oh, you're excluding actors who aren't gay because the character's gay. Oh, come on. Like, no. Like, there are plenty of gay characters played by straight actors. There are straight characters played by gay actors. It's all good. In this case, Batwoman, it is important that she is an LGBT character. If you want to get an LGBT actor like Ruby Rose and whatever, and wherever on the spectrum Ruby Rose lands, it's none of my damn business. Wherever she lands, if she is part of that community and wants to be a part of representing that community in a very positive and impactful way by portraying Batwoman, then go on, girl. I've got your back.
I'm going to just put one foot up on your soapbox for a quick second, and then I just want to move on to happier things. But I kind of miss the times when hateful assholes kept to themselves and didn't go public with all their shit.
I agree. So anyway, I think it's an awesome get. I think it's a boon for the CW because, again, I feel like she doesn't have to do it. She's not she's not Nicole Kidman yet, but she is on the rise. And so I think it's super cool that they got her when they did. I think it's super cool that she's so excited for it. I think she will be great. My knowledge of her acting ability does come from the Meg. I can tell you, I thought she was fine in the Meg. I thought she was good. I
agree. I don't think anybody was jockeying for award season in that movie, though. I mean, it's just not that kind of a film. So
right, and so I think she was good in it, and she was memorable, and she was likable. And if I'm being honest, I walked out with a little crush on her. I don't think that's going to work out for me, but so be it. But she had charisma, and I enjoyed watching her on screen, and I think she's going to be great.
I agree with all that. She's Australian, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, nobody's perfect, but...
I know. Because now we're going to have to hear about it endlessly from that little skinny
He's
jackass.
already talking about it. He's already talking about it.
Oh, God.
It's
You'd think he gives
there.
birth to every Australian actor. He's
it's
so
a kinship
proud.
down there. There's only like 40 people on the island.
You're from
they
the
all know each
bush.
other.
You're a bush baby. Great.
Anyway, as far as hopes for the show, just real quick, I'm pretty content with all the CW shows except for Arrow, but I have hopes that Arrow's going to get it turned around this year. I really hope tonally Batwoman leans more towards Black Lightning than any of the other ones. The social addresses and
yeah, sure.
And the more serious tones and everything, I think are handled better on Black Lightning than they are than the other shows. Not that I think there's anything wrong with the other ones necessarily. It's just that's my hope for this show is that it leans more that direction than the, I guess for lack of something better to call it, the fun and frivolous side of things.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because Batwoman's a damaged character, and she's got a lot of darkness in her history and in what she does and will do and what have you. So I would like to see that carried over onto a screen more than just the pages. So
yeah, absolutely. No, I can't wait. And what's really exciting to me is that we don't have to wait all that long. We're at the end of August as we're recording this, and the crossover is, I think, December.
Yeah, I think it's the second week in December. I want to say it's like 9th, 10th, 11th or something like that is when the 3 nights are. Something along those lines.
Yeah, it's super exciting. And even more exciting is in that crossover, not only reading Batwoman, Superman's coming back. So we got Taylor Hoechlin coming back as Superman, and he's not coming alone. He's apparently going to be joined by Lois Lane.
We have not got casting for this shit, correct?
Not for Lois. Obviously Superman's cast,
Well,
but
yeah.
So they announced that, which is awesome. I know that in the past couple crossovers, there's been the fans being like, "Hey, we know Superman's around. Where's Superman?" And I get that, because of course I want all the toys, but at the same time, I understand them holding him back until the time was right. And so apparently the time is right. I think it's super cool. And then the fact that we're going to be getting another version of Lois Lane, I think that's really exciting too.
You know what? The optimist in me heard that news and immediately went to, they're testing the waters to see about giving Superman his own series. I know that's probably a little bit of a reach at this point, but it's, I mean, him showing up again. I mean, he's been on a handful of episodes already. He seems to be very well received by the fans. Bringing Lois into it is establishing more of his world, so to speak. So at this point, what do they have to lose by doing it? It's not like we have any immediate plans for another Superman movie on the big screen to our knowledge at this point. But
Right.
I don't see what it would hurt.
I know. Yeah. I'm not holding my breath for the show, but love the idea of expanding the universe. Love the idea of bringing in Lois. I'm all for it.
I agree.
So I think it'll be really fun. So it's an embarrassment of riches. Thank you, Greg Berlanti and your team. You've given us so much, and yet you still keep giving. So not only are you giving us Batwoman, which would have been plenty for the crossover, in addition to everybody else, but bringing in Superman, bringing us a new Lois Lane. Hell yeah, man. Merry Christmas to us.
Hear, hear.
Super cool. So lots of great content, lots of great TV content. And speaking of TV, they are ramping up for the shows on the DC Universe. So DC Universe is getting very close to launching. But of course, we know Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing are starting to come together. And we got a very interesting casting for Doom Patrol that I wanted to give a little shout out here. We've got our Robot Man. Robot Man is going to be voiced by Brendan Fraser.
I don't know the character of Robot Man at all. I've never read any Doom Patrol, so I'm going into this entire thing fresh. But I like Brendan Fraser. I've always liked him. I think the guy's sort of underrated as an actor. I don't think he's always made the greatest choices in the roles that he's taken, but I think
I don't know. Bedazzled is pretty damn good.
I actually kind of like that movie, but don't
I've
tell
actually
anybody
never
that.
seen it. But I've seen it, and I saw it in the $5 bin at Walmart for years.
If I could show my red-blooded American male heterosexuality here, seeing Liz Hurley in that bikini does the heart a lot of good. Mm-hmm. But that's another story for another day. No, I dig the guy. I really do. I think he's got charisma out the wazoo. I think he's one of those guys that he gives what's asked of him and then some. You know what I'm saying? He just really. Like he was in G.I. Joe. He was in one of the G.I. Joe movies in a bit part. I think he was Flint or something like that. And even in the 2 minutes or whatever, probably not even that, he was in that movie. It's like, I remember him from that movie when I remember so little else. So I dig this. I think it's great.
Yeah, here's what's so cool, though, is this came out, and I feel like I only saw reactions very similar to yours, which is a lot of people being like, oh my God, I love Brendan Fraser. I miss Brendan Fraser. I'm so glad he's now going to be part of the family. And I agree. I'm with you completely. Like, he's a very likable guy, and he did kind of seem to go away for a while. And I love the idea of him being part of the show.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think somebody else is doing the mocap for that character, but he's doing the voice, right?
Correct. Yeah, as far as we know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to watch that show. It's something I can go into with zero expectations, completely fresh eyes. This will be my introduction to those characters. Is their appearance in the Titan series and then their own series as they kick off. So I can't say this with very much in the world of DC stuff. It's kind of refreshing going into something and not having any baggage coming with it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to that, probably most of all from the stuff that's been on the DC Universe app so far as announcements.
Right, absolutely. So no, I'm psyched for it. I mean, and we're the cast is coming together for Doom Patrol. So we have April Bowlby as Elastigirl, and Diane Guerrero as Crazy Jane. And then we got Cyborg. So the role of Cyborg has been cast. It's Joyvan Wade, who I've never heard of, but he's an English actor. He was on EastEnders and Doctor Who. And then I guess he was in the first Purge.
I've seen the first Purge, but I tried to forget it. So.
Oh, that good?
Yeah.
So
the second one was pretty good. I haven't seen any of the other ones, but I like the second one.
No, like literally the first Purge, the movie, the new one.
I haven't seen that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mistook that as the Purge.
Right. So no, I know it's confusing because the one that just came out this year is called The First Purge, and then the first movie we would just say, oh, the first Purge.
Do you ever miss the simplicity of just numbering sequels?
I know, right? Little shout out to Saw. Saw just was like Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4. Just keep it simple. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I haven't seen any of these things that he is in, but it's cool and interesting that we're going to get a new Cyborg. It'll be interesting to see how they do it, especially since we just saw him on the big screen last year. As long as they don't do the Smallville thing where all of his cyborgness is under his skin, so they didn't have to do any actual effects. That was a little cop out that bugged me a little bit back in the Smallville days. But yeah, so Doom Patrol's coming together. I don't think they ever confirmed Kelsey Grammer. That was a rumor, but I don't think it ever got confirmed. He
was going to be the head guy, right?
Right. Yeah.
He was one in the wheelchair. I don't want to call him Professor X, but you know what I'm saying.
But he is. He was Professor X before Professor X. Save your emails, guys. We know. It's just Professor X got more famous. So yeah, I don't think that one was ever confirmed, but it's coming together, and I like that Brendan Fraser's along for the ride. Super, super exciting. Another thing Brendan Fraser, you could almost say he came out of retirement to do Doom Patrol, but someone else is coming out of retirement. It was a retirement I never really believed, but retirement nonetheless, because once upon a time, Hans Zimmer said he retired from superhero movies.
You can't trust Hans. He's a filthy liar.
I know. Because we found out last week that he is actually going to be scoring Wonder Woman 1984.
I am both joyed and disappointed by this.
Really?
Joyed because I love Zimmer's work. He's one of my favorite composers ever.
Yeah.
Disappointed because and I'm going to screw up this guy's name. Is it Rupert Gregson Williams? Is that who did the first one?
Correct.
I thought that score was really good, so I would have been interested to see what he did for the second movie. I mean, not that I think the guy was better than Zimmer necessarily, but I really like the score for the first movie. So
I'm right there with you. I was a little surprised by this news because Rupert Gregson Williams did amazingly on the first film, and so I just assumed they would bring him back. He's doing Aquaman, which is awesome. So he's staying in the family. But yeah, I was a little shocked that Hans Zimmer is taking over for the sequel, but I ain't mad at it because he's Hans Zimmer, and Hans Zimmer he creates amazing music in his sleep. I can never be mad at that, and I'm glad that Rupert Gregson Williams, he's still working with us. He's doing Aquaman.
Well, good. We get the best of both worlds then. Now,
exactly.
Hans, throw me a little 80s synth sound with this one, would you?
Oh, totally. They've got to. It's going to be amazing. So, yeah, it's super exciting. Again, when Hans Zimmer said that, when he's like, oh, I'm retired from superhero movies, I was like, really? Really, are you for sure? And so when this was announced, I'm like, yeah, that lasted, a year? So, glad basically. He is back. Cannot wait for that score.
Get him back just in time to do Man of Steel 2. Hey-o.
Hey-o for 2031. So, no, that's really exciting. That movie is still out there filming. We still haven't seen a cheetah. But it's nice.
Leave it as a surprise. Don't even show it to me in the trailer at this point. Just put it in the movie and let me see it.
That would be awesome.
Make it get on the first trailer they released for it. Let me hear a little bit of cat sound and let me see some of oh God, I heard name. Say it because I'm going to kick myself in the head.
Huh? Kristen Wiig or
thank you. let me see her doing the Barbarian Minerva thing, but maybe give me a shot of a claw from the elbow down or something. You know what I'm saying? Just let me be surprised for once, guys.
I mean, that would be cool. They did it with Ares. They can do it with Cheetah. If they can keep it under wraps until they tease it in the trailer, I think that would be awesome.
This movie's release date is what?
November 1st next year?
November 1st. So we got 14 months. So we got a whole nother Comic-Con to get through. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to get this lucky.
Probably not. I don't believe it. But we can
Hey,
hope.
I look forward to seeing it anyway. I'd rather be surprised, but I'll deal with it as it comes.
I know. We ain't going to complain. But it will be super exciting. I love it. Love that it's coming. I think it was an episode with Brendan where I was like, and I love that it's on November 1st because it'll help me get over my post-Halloween depression.
Halloween stops on November 1st for you? I thought you were a fan, sir.
I mean, it depends on what's going on in any particular year, but after the 31st, I'm like, oh, Halloween's over.
Hang on. If it's released November 1st, that means the first showing is going to be on Halloween.
I know, right?
Which means my daughter is going to flip her wig because that's her birthday.
Ooh. Which means I'm going to be in my Halloween costume at the movie theater. So I'll be dressed
as... Are you dressing as Wonder Woman? Because that'd be awesome.
I'm dressing as Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
Because he's my idol. We still don't know who he's playing, do we?
No, but I don't care.
We've seen the look, and it's fun. I know one of the theories is Maxwell Lord, which could be interesting, but I just love that guy.
What's not to like? He's the friggin' Viper, for crying out loud.
He's the damn Viper. You're damn right. Favorite character. Anyway, so super exciting. Wonder Woman 1984 is coming. The soundtrack is gonna be banging, but keeps moving forward. Something else that seems to be taking little baby steps forward, which is exciting, is the Batman. Matt Reeves is apparently still writing and working on the script, but there are meetings going on, allegedly. So we got a rumor this week, and it is a rumor. I'm gonna just throw that out there. It's a rumor. Take it as a rumor. But the rumor is that Oscar Isaac, who of course is famous for playing Poe Dameron in Star Wars, took a meeting with Warner Brothers about the Batman. Now this rumor is coming from Geeks Worldwide, and I have no idea who that is. So take this rumor with a shaker of salt and maybe the entire container of salt and maybe one of those salt licks that like horses and cows lick, and a big bag of potato chips, but lots of salt with this. But hey, it's fun to talk about, because I love Oscar Isaac, and so the idea of him coming over and joining the DC family is pretty exciting. I hope this rumor is true.
First of all, I love Oscar Isaac because he was in Sucker Punch. I don't know if y'all ever heard me talk about Sucker Punch, but I like Sucker Punch. Usually Andy throws something at me when I say that.
Yes, we know, Jamie.
Okay. Well anyway,
aware. Thank you.
I think the guy's a great actor. I've never seen him turn in a performance I didn't love, no matter what the material around him was. Like, yes, even in The Last Jedi, one of the few nice things I'll say about The Last Jedi is him. I like his performance because I like him as an actor. I think this is great. Now, I know a lot of people immediately ran with the idea that he could be Batman. I don't have any objection to that. I'm not saying I think that's what's going to happen, but if it is, you ain't going to hear me cry about it.
Yeah, so the headlines were a little misleading because they would say like, oh, Oscar Isaac reportedly met with Warner Brothers about the Batman role. And like, if you read it quick, you'd go, oh, he met with them to be Batman? But it was like, no, it was just worded like that. It was like, it was to meet about a role for the film, The Batman. I mean, sure, it could have been about being Batman, but it could have been anything. And it could have, honestly, it could have never happened. So there's that too. I guess
he would also make a solid Dick Grayson. I'm just throwing that out there too. So
I feel like he's a little too old at this point.
Well, I mean, we've got a Batman that's in his mid-40s, so why not?
I mean,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I wouldn't prefer it. I'm just saying I wouldn't oppose it. If he's going to play the Riddler, if he's going to play, pretty much anything but Catwoman, I think I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I love Oscar Isaac. There isn't anything I have seen him in where I didn't like him, and so I want him as part of this movie. Now, if it is the biggie, if it is to be Batman, I mean, if they go that route, if that's true, if they are going with a new Batman, I would be all for it. I love the guy. I think he'd be great as Batman. I'd be all for it. And it didn't stop the internet from already creating fan art of him as Batman, because it's already out there.
I think he's another one of those guys, much like Affleck himself. And don't mistranslate what I'm saying here. I don't think he and Ben Affleck look a lot alike.
Right.
They got dark hair. That's pretty much where it stops. But I think the thing that they have in common is you can age them up or age them down 5 to 10 years pretty damn easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I would be all for it. And I mean, yes, he's Latin, and I think that's cool. I'm one of those people that if you wanted to get a more diverse actor as Batman, I'd be all for it. I'd have no issue with that. So I like the idea of, adding a little bit of color to the Batman. I'd be all for it. But I do think that is less likely. If this meeting took place, I think it's less likely that he met to play Batman. I think it would probably be for something else. Some of the fan casts or fan theories I've seen were Harvey Dent. I think he'd be great.
That works.
Someone said Hugo Strange, which I thought was a weird place to jump to, but
odd choice, but I'll take it.
Sure,
Riddler. I don't know that I'd really see him as Penguin, but hell, I'd give it a shot. I mean, it's not like the guy doesn't know how to act, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, as I tweeted out, if he wanted to play Vicky Vale, I would support him because I think he's great.
Well, I can think of one cinematic Vicky Vale he'd probably be better than.
So yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Okay, so let's do this then, Jamie. I mean, it's all up in the air. We have no idea how real this is, but if you had your choice to put him in any role in the Batman universe, what would it be?
Whew, on the spot, man.
Right?
I would lean toward villain because I think he's got that ability where, I mean, he can play any which way he wants to play. He's just that diverse as an actor. But I think he can put nasty out there with the best of them. So, I mean, Scarecrow maybe would be a really solid choice for him.
Okay.
Riddler, I think, would be a really solid choice for him because he could bring a kind of a darkness, a sinisterness to that character that we're not accustomed to seeing. I mean, kind of make it the antithesis of what we got with Jim Carrey in Batman Forever. So one of those, I call it a tie between those two because those are the two darkest villains I can think of right off the top of my head that are mainstream enough to be recognizable to a general audience.
Mm-hmm. I love both of those choices. I mean, I was thinking Riddler as well. Big shock. But it's very much because of Sucker Punch. Because in Sucker Punch, he is the villain. Spoilers. And he's great. And he's so smarmy and he's so smart, but he's also a little scary. Like, he's so good in that movie that I'm like, to take that sort of performance and just shift it over to Edward Nygma, I think he could be awesome. So I love that idea.
If he were 10 years older, I would have said Ra's al Ghul without hesitation, but I don't know.
I
But
mean,
like I say, you can age him up or down.
He can stay young. He's Lazarus Pit. Come on.
True. Any of those three. I'll take any of those three. I'll take whatever he's going to do. But those three would be where I'm at.
Yeah. I support him completely.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Again, who knows how much truth there is to it, but it's fun to think about. But one thing that we know for sure that is confirmed is that this Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie is happening.
And it just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Right?
Which may not be a bad thing. I don't know. I'm going to judge it on the finished product, not what I'm assessing to this point. But man, this thing is offbeat.
We're 2 weeks away from filming, apparently. And we got some additional casting news. Alec Baldwin is joining the cast as Thomas Wayne.
Obscure. And no, let me rephrase that. I think Alec Baldwin as Thomas Wayne is a pretty inspired choice, actually. But the fact that they're making Thomas Wayne involved in this film and apparently, and I didn't read a speck of this for any of the stuff because I go over clickbait articles just like they're not even there anymore. So I pretty much ignore everything until somebody else confirms the news to me. But apparently Bruce Wayne is going to be in the movie, but he's going to be like child age. So I guess we're going to Gotham this thing now, or.
I had the same thought. I was like, this is starting to feel like Gotham the movie.
Weird. But no, I think Baldwin's a great choice for Thomas Wayne. I'm interested to see what the involvement's going to be. Again, I don't want to rush to any prejudgments about it at all, but I think the casting choice itself is really good.
Yeah, I think Baldwin is great. I think it's, like you said, I think it's pretty inspired. So I'm all for it. Apparently, Viggo Mortensen passed on the role. So that's interesting. I'm not really mad at it because I love Viggo, and I think Viggo should be Ra's al Ghul. That's what I'm saying.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, I think Viggo could be saved for a bigger role. Ooh, or maybe Victor Fries. How about Viggo as Victor Fries?
I'd watch the hell out of that too, because you know what? Viggo is much like Oscar Isaac. I don't think the guy can do any wrong as far as his acting.
Right.
I think he can do it all.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Alec Baldwin, I think it's a great choice. But here's the interesting thing is, and this is, take it also with a grain of salt. According to the Hollywood Reporter, this version of Thomas Wayne is described as a cheesy and tanned businessman in the mold of 1980s Donald Trump.
Okay. First of all, I don't want to get into a Trump discussion because, well, you already had to bleep yourself, so I'm going to get mine out of the way. Fuck that guy. But
it's okay. A couple bleeps for good measure this week.
we're letting it all out here.
I've had a really tough week, guys.
for some reason, I heard the cheesy 80s businessman kind of a thing, and I immediately went to Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know that I see Thomas Wayne in that. But again, I want to see this movie to know for sure. I don't want to throw shit in a tizzy and get all huffy about something that I don't even know the context of at this point. Mm-hmm. So...
yeah, I think it is.
Maybe the reference to Trump doesn't have anything to do at all with his personality, just that he's going to have messed up hair and he owns everything. Maybe that's all that reference is. We don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like you said at the beginning, this movie just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
Oh, it's so bonkers. It's so bonkers. I'm actually getting excited for it now. Before I didn't give a damn about this movie, but now it just sounds so crazy. The curiosity factor has the best of me at this point.
Exactly. It sounds so bonkers that I am fascinated and I can't wait to see it. Doesn't mean I'll like it, but I can't wait to see it because it
if
just
nothing else,
sounds
this
insane.
cast, boy, holy crap.
Yeah.
Is De Niro
insane.
confirmed yet? I know that was on the table.
I believe he is.
Okay. Yeah. Alec Baldwin, Robert De Niro, Joaquin Phoenix. Who else am I missing here?
Oh, God. I feel like there was someone else. Oh, Mark Maron.
Oh, yeah. I love that guy, too.
Mm-hmm.
He does a great podcast. I don't listen to it very often, but it's really good. Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, the performances ought to be worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah. Oh, and Zazie Beetz.
I don't know. I mean, I know who she is.
You didn't see Deadpool,
but I haven't
great.
seen her in anything. So
she was great in Deadpool too.
She had a great look to her. I loved her look in the trailers, but ain't no way in hell I'm watching that stuff.
Dude, I just watched the extended cut the other night, and I laughed my ass off.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it, Jamie. Thank you. I had a wonderful time. And then Frances Conroy from American Horror Story.
Frances Conroy. Who's who?
You would know her as soon as you saw her. DC Connection. She was the cat lady in Catwoman.
I haven't seen that.
Well, it's really good.
That's what I keep hearing. I think that was the runaway favorite on the real fans.
I have it on good authority from a gentleman named Jordan that Catwoman is a good movie.
Somebody, I think it was Matthew Malucky, did a poll in the Real Fans group about what the worst superhero movie was of all time, and I'm pretty sure that one ran away with it.
I'm trying to think if I can contest that, but nothing springs to mind.
I think the discussions that went about, and this went on for days. The discussions that went about were like, Batman and Robin at least has some measure of entertainment value and you can recognize it as Batman and Robin. Like there was enough similarities in there that you knew what it was. But like Catwoman wasn't even trying to acknowledge anything that involved Catwoman as we know Catwoman.
Right.
So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Batman and Robin. So sure, yeah.
For all I know, I'm going to sit down and watch Catwoman and I'm going to think it's a blast. I have no idea.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not, but I'm trying to be optimistic.
Anyway, so yeah, the Joker movie is shaping up. It's happening. They're going to start filming very soon, which means sooner or later we're going to get our first look at Joaquin Phoenix as the Clown Prince of Crime. So something to look forward to. The movie sounds bonkers, but I'm not making any decisions yet because I want to see what the hell they're doing. I'm down for the ride. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, but I respect that they're going crazy. So good for them. Oh,
Frances Conroy was the redheaded maid chick in the first season. Got it. Okay.
She was the older version.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with it.
Yep.
I like her a lot. She was in Coven too, which is one of my favorite seasons of that.
Yeah, she's a great actor. She's really good. She probably doesn't want to talk about Catwoman either. So anyway, the Joker, more as it develops, and interesting times. We will see how that goes. So, fun stuff going on around the DC universe, and always fun to see things as they progress. We're moving right along. But if you can't wait for the next big Batman film to hit the big screen, there's plenty of stuff hitting your small screen, or plenty of stuff you can go back and watch. And so it's been a couple episodes since we've reviewed an animated episode, so we're doing it. We're bringing it back. We're not forgetting. So it is time for our next episode review from Batman the Animated Series. Like I said, it's been a couple episodes, so thank you for your patience, but we're back, and the next episode from the new Batman Adventures, aka Season 4 of Batman the Animated Series, is Joker's Millions. This feels like something of a classic episode to me. It is based on a classic comic book. So in this one, crime boss Edward King Barlow, he dies, and he leaves $250 million, I think. Does that sound right? $250 million to the Joker. And the Joker, it works out because the Joker was going through some financial hardships, and so he gets all this money. Barlow hated him, but for some reason he left it all to the Joker, and so the Joker starts living it up like crazy. At the same time, he refuses to break out Harley Quinn from Arkham Asylum. He'd rather just audition some new Harley Quinns. Then he finds out that he's been had. Barlow only left him a little bit of money. The rest of it is fake, as a way to humiliate the Joker and get the last laugh.
What a first world society we live in when we consider $10 million a, quote, little bit of money.
I know, right? And considering this episode is 20 years old, when you account for inflation, it's even more.
Crazy.
So, the Joker's Millions. Jamie, what'd you think?
This is another one of those first-time watches for me.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen this one before.
Crazy. Now I've heard everything.
I know. As I was going through the episode list, there's a few coming up that I definitely have seen. So we'll round that base there. But I've never seen this one before. I got to tell you, I wish I could have watched this one twice before we recorded, because there is a lot of stuff going on. This is a really rich episode. I did that just for you, Rooney. Just for you. So there's plenty going on. This is probably the hardest I've laughed at a Batman the Animated Series episode that I can remember. A couple of lines in particular, we'll get to that, but I really enjoyed this. I thought it was an absolute blast from front to back.
No, this is a great one, and I'm surprised you did not see it, but it is, it's a classic. As soon as I saw it coming up, I was like, oh yeah, Joker's Millions, of course, this is a great one. It's cool. It incorporates a lot of the Batman universe, so you've got cameos from the Penguin, you've got cameos from Poison Ivy, you've got Harley playing a pretty big role in the subplot, you've got Batman and Batgirl keeping tabs on the Joker, but it's just a hysterical episode where, the Joker, someone gets the best of the Joker, and the Joker doesn't know quite how to deal with it. So no, it's hysterical, and it's just a great one.
Yeah, he doesn't like it when the joke's played on him very much, does he?
No, jokes are so funny unless he's the butt of the joke.
Speaking of jokes, let me just go ahead and pull a Jamie and get this out of the way right now. The part where he said, "I'll take on Batman, but the IRS? No, 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 no." Yes. I lost it on that line.
That is, it has become a classic Joker line, and is only funnier the older you get and having to deal with the IRS. You understand why, even the Joker is not crazy enough to take on the IRS.
I've been audited. I know his woes there. It's crazy.
They're the worst. I have also been audited, and yeah, it's no fun. So I'm
Zero.
with it.
None. It's no laughing matter at all.
Oh yeah, so that is a classic Joker line. There's some funny stuff with auditioning new Harley Quinns.
Yes, that was really good too.
Pretty hysterical. I like the scene in the Iceberg Lounge. The Penguin has that great line of "the best revenge is living well." And I think that this is the first time we saw the new version of Penguin.
I don't recall seeing this version previously. The last version I can recall seeing, and it's been a minute, was more of the kind of Batman Returns-ish, monsterish sort of a look.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do think that, this is the intro to the new version of the Penguin and everything. So, yeah, this one is truly, truly great. So I'm glad that's kind of fun that you got to watch it for the first time. And it's written by Paul Dini, so of course it's great.
I saw that, and immediately I was like, okay, we're in. We're good.
It's going to be a good one.
Good seeing Batgirl in there. A little bit of Nightwing involvement in there as well. Bruce Wayne interactions too. Like the golf course scene I thought was utterly hysterical. And I couldn't help but notice that girl that Bruce was on the golf course with was not Selena Kyle.
No.
Just saying. But a lot of good stuff. And Bruce confronting the Joker and come over and join me, give us a bottle of your best. And Bruce is like, you'll understand if I decline. And he's like, the last time we saw each other, you tried to throw me off a building. Oh, but that was so long ago. It was last month. So yeah, it's just so much good going on there. A couple of shots that I like too. I have to call this one out because I utterly loved it when Joker throws the little smoke bomb and does the getaway in that opening sequence, and Batman comes up out of that pile of rubble, and you just see the scowled look in the eyes, but everything else is pure black silhouette. I always love seeing that kind of a look with Batman, so I really appreciated that shot, even though it was like 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I forgot. I forgot about Nightwing. It's been a couple days since we watched it because this episode's a little delayed. But the Nightwing and Batgirl action scene in the Iceberg Lounge, and then when the Joker tries to tip them, is pretty amazing too.
Yeah, there's just so much good going on this thing. It's another one of those. I can't believe they fit this much content in 21 or 22 minutes.
Yeah, agreed. And the way it all wraps up with the Joker. He's caught, he loses all his money or whatever, and ends up in the paddy wagon, and Harley gets her revenge because she's a little angry that he left her
behind. That was
left her
ice
behind
cold.
and replaced her like a light bulb. So I love that Harley gets the last laugh here too.
Yeah, she definitely gave him the comeuppance he deserved on that one.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
So, is. It's absolutely. Well, I've got nothing to complain about with this one. Nothing at all. I had an absolute blast with it. It almost feels like it's worthy of being cinematic to me.
I agree. It's great stuff. So closing thoughts. Letter grade.
Glad I finally got around to seeing this. I've heard the episode mentioned by some fans over the last few years, and deservedly so. I think it's a fantastic episode. It's going to make my rewatch rotation. I think it's definitely worth revisiting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. It's an A+ for me.
Hey, copy and paste. I'm with you. Great episode, classic for a reason. It's an A+. Can't ask for more. So anyway, that is the next episode of the new Batman Adventures. So moving forward, if you guys are following along with us, our next one will be Growing Pains. So show me that smile again. Don't waste another minute on your crying. We're nowhere near the end. The best is ready to begin.
Wow.
I really liked that show.
I'm more shocked that you remembered all the lyrics than anything. But
Yeah, well, you know.
I used to watch that show all the time, too. My mother loved that show. She really
Child of
loved
the
that
80s. Growing Pains is next. So, yes, please watch that one. And we will continue our journey through the new Batman Adventures. Now, let's check in with you fine folks as we crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Derek, what is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all, Master Wayne.
All right, first email here comes from Timothy Christensen. It says, "Hey guys, I'm still loving the show." Still. Whew. Sounds like a close one. I had to write in. While browsing Bat content on Facebook, I came upon some fan art of Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. I thought to myself, who hasn't mashed up Joaquin and the Joker yet? Or why hasn't anyone mashed up Joaquin and the Joker yet? We have Batfleck, so come on. So I present you Walker. Joaquer. I leave it up to you as to how to pronounce it. Keep up the good work. Oh, yeah, Walker.
That's one more thing I wanted to call out about the episode that I get a huge kick out of. When he went back to his apartment or the hotel he was staying at, and she called him Mr. Kerr, and all I could think about was he signed in his name as Joe Kerr, and I lost it. Anyway, sorry.
Yes,
Didn't mean to.
yes. I noticed that too when he's staying at that divey place, and it's like, do these people in Gotham not know who the Joker is? He's the Joker. He's tried to kill them 100 times. You should know that. Okay. Anyway, thank you for the message, Tim. Next message here is from Whistle Red. It says, "Hey, Andy, Jamie, and Brendan." Not Brendan. He's not here today. It says, "This is my first time writing in. Your podcast makes my day every time I listen to it. My question is, if the fifth Batman movie, Batman Unchained, was made after Batman and Robin, what would Batman movies and comic book movies look like today?" Whistle Red, thank you for the kind words and thank you for the message. What do you think, Jamie? If we had gotten another Schumacher Batman film, what alternate universe would we be living in?
I don't know how to answer that question exactly because I don't know exactly what movie we would have gotten with that. I mean, I've heard discussions about things that were going to be in the movie, but tonally speaking, I don't know what the movie was going to be. I don't know if it was going to be more of the Batman and Robin or a little bit more of the darkness and less campiness to it. I don't really know what to say, but obviously the landscape of comic book films did change for a little bit after Batman and Robin. So I think no matter what we would have gotten with that, it probably would have been a little bit different today. I just don't know exactly how different it would be.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I do think that Warner Brothers was hot to just keep churning out those Bat films. And so, yeah, if Batman and Robin had done well, and then they went on to Batman 5 and then into Batman 6, I think that we just would have gotten more of that. And I think that would have delayed any reinvention or reboot of Batman. So I think that, the Nolan films, maybe some version like that would have happened, but it might have happened later. So yeah, I think that it would have definitely affected probably the DC pipeline. I don't know if it would have affected what happened with Marvel. I don't see Batman and Robin changing the trajectory of Blade or X-Men or Spider-Man, which then led to...
Yeah, I mean, Blade had to have already been in production by the time Batman and
Right.
Robin came out. So
Exactly. So I don't know if it would have affected comic book films on the Marvel side. I think that progression would have probably continued as planned. But as far as Batman films, yeah, I think we would have just gotten a lot more of that Schumacher world, because WB, at a certain point, they wanted one every 2 years until Batman and Robin happened, and then that all went up in flames. But So I think they probably would have run it into the ground with a couple additional films, and then who knows how long we would have had to wait for the next reboot. All right, next message here is from Rody Shement. It says, "Hey guys, I hope all's well. Of all the announced or rumored DC films, which one would you most like to see happen? My personal choice would be the Chris McKay Nightwing movie. If that is released and has a Martha Rescue-esque action scene with Nightwing and Batman teaming up, I could probably retire from movie watching. Thanks." Rody, thank you for the message. I'll just jump in and go, like, I'm with you 100%, Rody. Like, you sold me. I think Nightwing would probably be at the top of my list of everything that's out there as a possibility, because I just love that character. So I'm kind of with you. And then, yeah, like the idea of at some point in the film having a Batman cameo where he and Nightwing team up. Oh, take my money. Take it right now. Jamie, what about you? Of all the rumored or in development DC films, which one do you want to see happen?
Every few days, I shed a tear or two that I have not gotten full confirmation and whatnot about the production beginning on a Deathstroke film done by Gareth Evans.
Oh, okay.
Because that pairing is so perfect and could be done on a minuscule budget and compared to most other superhero films. We've got a Deathstroke already. That director would be ideal for a Deathstroke film. My God, I need this in my life.
All right, cool. That works. Thank you for the message. Next message here is from Imad Alagoos. It says, "Hey guys, who is the most and least cinematic Batman villain? In my opinion, Joker's the most, and Penguin is one of the least. Also, I believe the Riddler has huge potential if cast and written to rival Joker's popularity. To his and Joker's advantage, you don't need a handsome, masculine actor to portray them, which opens up your casting options." Imad, thank you for the message. Jamie, what do you think? The most cinematic Batman villain and the least?
My heart tells me the most would be Ra's al Ghul because he's my boy.
Because that's your boy.
That's my boy. But my brain tells me the Riddler because you could make one hell of a detective mystery kind of a film having him involved with the really solid writing team behind it. And I think we deserve a really good Riddler, and I know that character's got the potential, and nobody seems to want to be in a hurry to do it. Least, Kite Man.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, Joker's the easy answer for most. Just by example alone, they've gone to that well a million times, and it always seems to work one way or the other. So I get that. I feel like I had another answer, more of a backup answer for most cinematic other than the Joker. Catwoman. I was gonna say Catwoman.
Oh, Catwoman. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like Catwoman. I think
Anarchy is the runner-up answer, though, right?
No, Magpie would be.
Oh.
Boom, baby. Yeah, I mean, the Joker, again, it's hard to argue that, but I do think Catwoman is up there. She's, a perfect balance to Batman. She looks amazing. It's really fun to do things with her in film.
And she needs the costume of that picture you sent me the other day.
Yes, absolutely. I sent Jamie a photo of cosplay, but it was the Batman the Animated Series version cosplay, and it was pretty amazing, with the exception, I guess, of the Catwoman film. Otherwise, I think, yeah, Catwoman is very cinematic. Least cinematic Batman villain, I'm going to go, and I'm sorry, I'm going to piss some people off. I'm going with Scarface. It's just so goofy.
Scarface as in ventriloquist in Scarface?
Yes, ventriloquist in Scarface.
Right.
It's just a little goofy. I think that would be really hard to sell in live action.
I'd like to see like a Nolan version of that, just to see how dark and gritty and realistic they could make it. But I'm kind of with you. I don't really see that translating all that well to animated all day, every day. But like live action, no, I'm not sure that quite works.
Yeah, it might be tough.
Don't get me wrong. I'd still be there day one to see it if it happened, just because I'd be like, I gotta know.
Let them try.
I gotta know.
All right. One last one here. This is Tommy Sanders. It says, "Greetings, Bat Family. After hearing so many requests on reading unproduced scripts, would you be able to review the original Superman 3 script that features Supergirl, Lana Lang, Brainiac, and Mixel Spitlick, who was rumored to be played by Dudley Moore? I promise you, after you read the script, you'll be saying this is the Superman 3 we should have gotten instead of the one with Richard Pryor." Tommy, thank you for the message. Jamie, another script request. People like that.
If I can get more free time in my day, we could actually make a subset of the show just for that.
And I'll tell you, Tommy, I did not know the script was actually written. Like, I had heard what you just said. I had heard people go, oh, yeah, it was supposed to have Supergirl and it was supposed to have Brainiac. Like, I had heard that, but I didn't know they got far enough to actually have a script.
Who was supposed to play Brainiac?
It doesn't say Brainiac, but it says Dudley Moore.
Dudley Moore is Mrs. Spitlick. Dude, I can totally see that.
Oh, totally. It's Patch the Elf, but as Mixel Spitlick.
It's Arthur, man.
Or Patch the Elf.
Or Arthur.
Or Patch the Elf.
Or Arthur.
Or Patch.
Okay.
Who has a hell of a lot of elf confidence and elf control.
He's got something.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now I want McDonald's, you son of never fails. Ever.
Well, I was mean to Brendan earlier, so now I have to throw him a bone, and Santa Claus the movie is the easiest way to do that.
All right, then.
So I guess I'm not throwing him a bone so much as a candy cane or a puce pop.
There was a comic written in the probably around 87, 88. It would have been about the same time that Quest for Peace came out, and it was called The Earth Stealers. And I'd never read it. Somebody at the comic book shop, the guy that actually owns it now, he was, the son of the owners back then. He's the owner now. Said, this is based on what they were originally going to do for the Superman 4 movie. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I put it down and went to look for more Batman comics. But I should track that down someday and read.
Yeah.
Oh, are you reading the... was it Action or was it? No, it was Superman. I'm pretty sure the new Superman books from Bendis.
No, I haven't yet.
Because I'm pretty sure it was the last issue of Superman. The most recent issue, it would have came out like 2 weeks ago. Nuclear Man is in it.
Yes. Okay, so now you just sold me.
He's not in it for very long, but he's in it.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, that's where we're going to close the Wayne Manor mailbox. If you have an email or a question or a comment for us, you can email those to holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Or if you want to leave a voicemail, please make it less than a minute, please. Please say your name, and you can leave those voicemails at 323-366-9246. Please and thank you. Always great to hear from you guys. Always fun to answer your questions. But that's where we're going to wrap up this episode of Holy BatCast. Jamie, it's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah, nice, relaxing, short, sweet, to the point episode. I like having those once in a while.
Yeah, we're going to scare the listeners. It's not 90 minutes or longer.
Yeah. I think we're under 90 days for Aquaman now, aren't we? We're real close to the edge of that.
I'll trust you. I don't have a countdown app.
I got my countdown right here. Let's check it. Well, first of all, we got 51 days till Halloween. Not
Woo!
the holiday, the movie.
That's the most important.
Oh, I'm sorry. Aquaman, 114 days, 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Okay, perfect.
And that's based on midnight, so it'll actually roll back a couple hours because I'm sure it'll have like a 7 o'clock showing.
Yeah. Excellent. But anyway, if folks at home want to keep up with you, and they don't already, where can they do that?
You can find me tweeting about the glorious delights of pumpkin spice anything on Twitter at BatRaider3960.
Perfect. Do that. Follow him and join our pumpkin cult. It's easier if you just accept it and embrace it and let it become a part of you.
One of us. One of us.
Na pumpkin spice. So anyway, thank you guys as always for joining the show. Thank you for downloading the show. Please do subscribe to the show and leave us a review. And as Michael Keaton's Batman says, I want you to tell all your friends about me. Go to holybatcast.com and visit our Holy BatCast pages all over social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, Holy BatCast. Again, if you've got an email, send that to holybatcast@rf4rm.com or leave a voicemail at 323-366-9246. But that'll do it for this episode. On behalf of my brother Jamie, I've been Andy. We will see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Holy BatCast is brought to you by real fans for real movies. Remember, the thoughts and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone, and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for.
$137 million?
Yes, and if I don't pay up, I'll go to jail for tax evasion. I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.